My parents stole my $50K college fund to pay for my golden child sister's wedding, so I gave my new brother-in-law the bank statements as my wedding gift. There have always been two tiers in my family, my sister, Sarah, and me. Sarah was the golden child, the princess. She was the one who could do no wrong. When she turned 16, she got a brand new convertible. When I turned 16, I got a bus pass and a lecture on building character. Sarah was the prom queen, which my parents framed as a major life achievement. I was the valedictorian, which they said was nice, but you shouldn't make the other kids feel bad. I was the responsible one, the practical one, the one who was no trouble. This dynamic meant I learned to be self-reliant. I worked 2 jobs through high school. My grandmother, my mom's mom, was the only one who really saw me. She was a quiet, practical woman who saw the imbalance in her own daughter's home. When she passed, she left me a $50,000 inheritance, separate from everything else, in a trust that I alone could access when I turned 21. Her note said, "This is for your future. Don't let them waste it." I never touched it. That money was sacred. It was my path to a master's degree, my escape hatch, my proof that someone believed in me. I was 25, planning to apply for my program in the fall. Then, Sarah got engaged. Her fiancé, James, came from old money. His family was the type that had their name on university buildings. And my parents, desperate to be seen as equals, went insane. Suddenly, no expense was spared for the wedding. A historic venue that cost a fortune. A dress I knew was a designer original. Flowers being flown in from another country. I was, of course, the maid of honor, which meant I was forced to smile and nod at bridal showers that cost more than my car. I kept asking my mom, "How are you possibly paying for this?" James's family offered to. "Oh no," my mom would say, waving her hand. "We're handling it. It's our gift. We want to show them what our family is all about." I had a sick, sinking feeling in my stomach for months. A week before the wedding, I went to my bank. I wasn't checking on my fund. I was moving it. I was finally submitting my applications and needed to find a new apartment near the university. I was going to move the $50,000 into a high-yield account, a final step before I started my new life. I sat down with the bank manager. "Hi, I'd like to transfer the funds from this trust account." He typed for a moment and then frowned. "Ma'am, that account, it was closed 6 weeks ago. The balance was zeroed out and transferred. The blood drained from my face. I couldn't breathe." "What? That's impossible. I'm the only one with access." He looked uncomfortable. "Actually, your parents were still co-signers on the account, left over from when you were a minor. They authorized the transfer." I didn't say anything. I just drove to my parents' house. They were in the dining room, my sister with them, laughing as they assembled wedding favors. I put the bank statement on the table. "Where is my money?" The laughter stopped. My sister looked at my parents. My mom wouldn't meet my eyes. "Honey," my dad started, trying to sound reasonable. "It was an emergency." "A wedding is not an emergency," I said, my voice shaking. "You stole my future. You stole Grandma's legacy." "We were just borrowing it," my mom said, finally looking at me, her eyes hard. "We were going to pay you back." "Pay me back with what?" I yelled. "You're broke. You've spent every dime you have on this." Then my sister spoke, her voice like a whining child. "Why are you being so selfish? It's my wedding. It's the most important day of my life. You're making this all about you." And that's when I saw it. She knew. She had been in on it. "It's just money," my dad said, standing up. "You're practical. You'll make more. Your sister, she deserved this. She deserved her perfect day." The betrayal was so total, so complete, it was almost clarifying. I felt the anger drain away, replaced by something cold and sharp. "You're right," I said. My voice was quiet. Everyone looked relieved. "She deserves this." I played the part of the perfect, practical daughter for the next 7 days. I smiled through the rehearsal dinner. I held my sister's veil and told her she was beautiful. I acted like nothing was wrong. The wedding was stunning. It was a masterpiece built on my stolen future. At the reception, the time came for the maid of honor's speech. I stood up, champagne flute in hand. I gave a beautiful speech. I talked about sisterhood and new beginnings, and how happy we all were to welcome James into our family. My parents were beaming, tears in their eyes. Later, during the gift opening portion, I brought up a single, beautifully wrapped gift. It was in a sleek black box, tied with a white satin ribbon. "What is it?" Sarah cooed, clapping her hands. "It's for James, actually," I said, smiling. "A little welcome to the family present from me." He looked confused, but pleased. He opened the box. It wasn't a toaster. It was every single bank statement. The initial $50,000 balance. The final, massive transfer to the wedding venue. The account closure notice. On top, I had placed a simple, handwritten note on thick cardstock. It read, "Congratulations. I'm so glad my $50,000 master's degree fund could pay for the down payment on your venue and flowers. Your new wife and in-laws insisted on making this special family contribution. Welcome to the family, James." I didn't wait to see his face change. I didn't wait to watch his eyes go from confused to curious to cold, hard understanding. I didn't wait to see him look over at my parents, who were smiling, oblivious. I turned and walked out of the ballroom. My phone started blowing up before I even got to the parking lot. My father screaming, my mother sobbing, my sister leaving a dozen voicemails that went from "Where did you go?" to "What did you do?" I didn't answer. I just put my phone on silent, got in my car, and started driving. I had to build a new future from scratch. But for the first time in my entire life, I was finally and completely free.